Welcome into a solo edition of Box Office Quarterbacks. My name is Jeff. Just got back from one of the most hyped movies and one of the movies with the best marketing campaigns I have ever seen, and that would be Longlegs, starring Micah Monroe and Nicolas Cage. A lot of people were calling this the modern day equivalent to Silence of the Lambs, the best horror movie of 2024, even the best horror movie of the decade. Like, the hype for this movie was something I had never seen before, especially for a lower budget horror movie. This is released by Neon, who did Immaculate a few months ago, but this movie has slowly been picking up steam for weeks and weeks and weeks. And I got to hand it to the marketing team. They got me and my wife in theaters to watch this movie. And what I will say is there's a lot of good elements here. I do like Micah Monroe and Blair Underwood a lot in this movie, but I think there are too many elements, if that makes sense. I feel like, uh, the first probably three quarters of this movie was a straight up FBI, almost Clarice Starling hunting down Buffalo Bill type of movie. And then we start getting into some supernatural elements. There's a plot twist in here, which uh, isn't all surprising. I don't know if you can say that you saw it coming from the opening credits. My wife definitely called it, but my wife loves horror movies and she is very good at deducting stuff like right off the bat. But this movie, I think, does not land the plane as much as I wanted it to. It suffers from a lot of overbloating. And that's crazy to say in an hour and 41-minute movie, that you can have too much in the story, but this is also going to be a spoiler review, so we can go into it. Longlegs is a serial killer who has been operating for decades now. When we meet up with the FBI agent Lee Harker at the beginning of this movie, before she is put onto this case, you find out that he is targeting specific families, little girls that have their birthday on the 14th of every month, and some other cryptic clues here. There's never any physical evidence of him ever being at the crime scene. So we're led to believe that he's working with somebody, or he's getting these people to do his bidding in some weird, uh, very forceful way. You find out that that's supernatural and there's satanic stuff in here at the end of the movie. There is like a plot point where they are using these dolls to control the family and, do the devil's bidding essentially. And I thought that just kind of took me out of it when I learned that. I think it was very grounded in reality, maybe up until that point. There were some good jump scares here, especially the opening scene, which you do at the end of the movie find out was Lee as a little girl, and she had blocked out the memories of everything, of meeting Longlegs at her house and having her mom be his accomplice and along for the scheme. The guy was living in their family house this whole entire time, and she had no idea. There's especially when have a scene early in this movie where she kind of like finds another serial killer strictly off of like a hunch or a vibe. Like, she's like, hey, that dude's in that house, and it was true. But you can't find this crazy serial killer who's been living in your house for decades. Like, there's a lot here that kind of the suspends reason, and it's just almost too much to overcome for me, at least. Nicolas Cage, I'll say, really goes for it here. Like, and you can say he does that in every movie. Like, he is no stranger to going over the top when it comes to any type of performance. I mean, look at him in Ghost Rider, for example, where he's turning into a flaming skull. He does the most to put on a performance. I will say that. People are calling Longlegs a new horror movie icon. I don't see that at all. I think the fact that it was Nicolas Cage almost made me snap back to reality even further in this movie because it's so over the top. The look of the character is over the top as well. He just is this very pale looking guy who looks like he's had a lot of plastic surgery done, like the most lip fillers maybe anybody has ever had in the history of the world. I don't know, but there's a scene where he's in a hardware store and he's kind of tormenting the girl that's working at the counter, and he's doing some weird like gestures to her, and I thought that that was unintentionally hilarious. Um, and it was supposed to be probably creepy and unnerving. I didn't find it that way. Uh, he doesn't make it to the end of the movie. He kills himself in an interrogation room while the main character, played by Micah Monroe, looks on, and no FBI agents waltz in there to help her restrain himself back. But um, he will definitely probably be the thing I think of the most when I think of this movie, is just how wild his interpretation of this character was. Love the two leads. I thought Blair Underwood was like a breath of fresh air in a movie like this. I did see the plot twist with his family coming like a mile away as soon as they mentioned his daughter's birthday at the beginning of the movie. All in all, when it comes to like the ranking of this movie or what I would give this movie compared to the other movies on the box office QB scale, I mean, I give it a starter. I don't think it's like a waste of your money to watch. It's fun to see horror movies in a packed theater, just to kind of hear the crowd's reaction to things. I think there are probably more chuckles than anything, especially when Nicolas Cage shows up. Yeah, it's when you compare it to other movies. Like I think Smile is scarier than this movie. I think some other horror movies that came out this year are a little bit better. I like Late Night with the Devil a lot better than I like this movie. But yeah, I would say effective marketing can get you a lot of things these days. That's for sure. And it definitely got me in the movie. It definitely got a lot of other people in the movie theaters as well. And it's far going to make back its budget. I could potentially see a, a realm where a sequel is made for this movie because they do leave it open ended, probably on purpose. So they could make another one of these, but um, I think this will probably be the last of this potential franchise I would see in theaters. But I know I'm going to be in the minority here when it comes to this review, but let me know what you think. What did you think worked well with this movie? And did you think that this movie lived up to the hype? Let us know in the comments. Uh, and let us know uh, what else you thought. But this has been a solo edition of Box Office Quarterbacks. My name is Jeff. We got a busy month coming up here. We got Twisters, we got The Boys season finale, and we have Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie we've been waiting for all year. But this has been another edition of Box Office Quarterbacks. My name is Jeff. We'll talk to you guys very, very soon.